Hey everybody, welcome back to TX3 Productions, and hey, this is going to be the last video of the year. I thought I would end it on a tradition, which is basically a look back at the previous year and what we've done and all that fun stuff. So, if you're in for that, please give a thumbs up and subscribe and all that good stuff. So let's get started with the very beginning of 2022. So the beginning of 2022 actually started with a pretty big high, and the fact that we released the month before World War Z, we released why World War Z is a better Left 4 Dead than Back 4 Blood. So we released that, and I think by the time the new year started coming around, we had a couple hundred. I want to say we were even really close to 1,000. So this was really exciting because that doesn't happen to us a lot. Like, even if you look at our views right now, it doesn't happen a lot. So for one video to be getting that a bunch is super cool. And yeah, it was starting the year on a big high. Maybe it was a bad way to set our expectations, because I'll explain more, but it was at least started high. We'll just put it that way. Okay. Things unfortunately might go downhill from there, but we started on a high, and it was really cool. I put a ton of work. If you watch it all the way to the end, I talk about how I spent a whole month writing it. I spent a whole month recording it. I spent a whole month editing it, because at each step, my mental health was just like, is this even worth it? Does this even matter? And now, sitting at 100,000 views on it, I have to say, yeah, it was definitely worth it. And I'm glad that I did it. But yeah, it's unfortunately, it's not something we've seen again, but at the same time, it's I'm really happy about it. I'd say my biggest negative, other than just the mental roller coaster that I had to go on to make it, I'd say my most negative was some of the comments that I've received for it. All the positive comments, oh my God, there's some days I'd be having a really bad day, and somebody would be like, hey, great job. I can't believe how good this is, and I agree with it so much, and little things like that. And that would get me through a bad day. Oh my God. But then there were some that were just I think the number one that I just really did not like hearing over and over again was, actually, Valve made Left 4 Dead and Turtle Rock made Back 4 Blood. And I know that. I over exaggerated. These are the same people that made Left 4 Dead. I exaggerated that in the video, but it was an exaggeration. It was, I guess, satire might be the best way to put it, because it's I know that these aren't the same people, but they're marketing it like it is the same people. And so therefore, that's kind of the commentary I was trying to make, is this is the same people. But a lot of people didn't pick up on that. And so that a lot of them felt the need to correct me. And it's I don't know if they were doing it to defend Back 4 Blood, if they were doing it to defend Left 4 Dead, or if they were just doing it to belittle me. Because it's okay, so I went on for an entire hour talking about point for point why I think that this one just is a better modern interpretation of what Left 4 Dead was. I think that a World War Z did better at capturing Left 4 Dead than Back 4 Blood did, which is why I titled it the way I did, right? And so I went on for an hour, almost a whole hour, is a little under, but I went on for a whole hour, beat for beat, topic for topic. And the one thing you feel the need to bring up is Well, actually, so like to me, it's like, are they trying to just belittle me? It's like my entire thesis means nothing because I got that one thing, that one little thing wrong. So like it was just, I think I might have gotten like one or two towards the very beginning, but then like 4, 5, or 6 months after I released it, suddenly there was just this wave where every day there would be a new person saying the same damn thing. And I'm like, okay, I know that. Like, and they're, of course, they're saying it as if I don't know. They're saying it as if they are informing me when it's like, no, I already knew that. It's called satire. It's called over exaggerating. And it's like, okay, I apparently didn't make my point clear enough because it's like it's just going way over these people's heads. And again, it's just like, why are you bringing this up? You know, there are some people that are like, here's why I disagree with you on enemies. Here's why I disagree with you on, on like visuals. This is why I don't agree with you on this. But for them to like put down, well, actually, these people made Left 4 Dead and these people made Back 4 Blood with no other context. They're just like, I just felt like correcting you and then dipping. Like, it just didn't make any sense. But we are currently at 104,861, 887 comments. And if you look through them, I do respond on a very high amount on them. Jesus fucking Christ. I will admit that as time went on, I stopped responding to them because either one, it was just some a-hole talking about the same thing they've been commenting, or it's just like, I agree with you and I'm not sure what else to say, then good job. So I would just heart it. But yeah. But out of that, we have 3,636 upvotes and 183 down. Well, I guess it's not a downvote. It's a thumbs down. And so thinking about this, I'm like 183 thumbs down. And I have this feeling that every single one of those are the a-holes that felt the need to somehow defend Back 4 Blood or correct me in some kind of way. Like, oh, you're wrong, so I'm going to like, just, I mean, I don't know. It was probably just one of the most frustrating things about it because it's just Back 4 Blood. That's the hill you want to die on? Like, out of all the games to defend to the death, why defend Back 4 Blood? And some of them would even say, Back 4 Blood's not perfect, but... And then they would, complain about the stuff that I said in the video. It's like, okay, so you are willing to admit that it's not great, right? You're willing to admit that it's not perfect or it's not great or whatever. And I don't know. It's... So for the people who loved it, for the people who commented and everything, it definitely got me through the day. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. I wish it was all the comments I got. Right after that, we were able to do a Deep Rock Galactic PlayStation review because it finally came out on the PlayStation for PlayStation Plus. So that was fun. That one is currently at 1781. Oh, it's 1782. Oh, yeah, all right. With only 8 downvotes, which, I mean, I'm just talking about a game that I like. Why do you not like it? Anyways, so that one was really nice to do, and I feel like I put a lot of my personality into that one. So if you want to, please go back and watch that one if you haven't already. Really funny and really well put together review, which obviously I'm biased, but then we did our Boba Fett videos, which is, the best way to put it is that it's not great. It's just good. There's so much about that series that was just like, yeah, it exists. It is indeed a thing. It happened, and good for it. So, but that was a fun series to do. Then is the first intro episode of Rumbleverse Radio. I'm gonna have more to say on that later. I'm gonna leave my Debbie Downers for later so that I get rid of all the fake people who are just here for the. I'm just kidding. I'll talk about that later. Let's get the positive stuff out of the way. I did a Destiny 2. Okay, hold on. You ready for this? Listen to the title. You ready? Destiny 2 free to play in 2022. Is it worth it? Okay, that's the title. Destiny 2 free to play. So the whole point of the video, and I even say it at the very beginning, is to talk about it being free to play and is it worth it? I mean, it's in the title, and I even say this at the very beginning. What this video is for is new players or the I tried it that one time but fell off players. Well, the game is technically free, so it sounds like a perfect time for an experiment. Is this game worth the time and money investment? How much do I get if I don't want to spend a dime? And yet, the number of people that would comment, this is a really cool video, but is it worth it to get the expansions? Or how is this expansion? Or how is that expansion? And I'm like, did you not watch the video? Because I clearly say that I didn't spend a dime on it. I clearly say that this is the free version. How would I know, at least in the context of this video, right? How would I know if these expansions are worth it? I haven't played them. And that's not the point of the video. I even had a few people very nicely, I even had a few people that were like, hey, you should have done a video where it's like, here's what you get for free versus here's the things you get if you pay. And I'm like, but that wasn't the point of the video. The entire point of the video is how much could you do if you just wanted to do free to play? What can you do if you just wanted to do free to play? And is that worth it? To this day, I will say, yes, it is worth it because they have this like season pass thing, and the season pass adds a bunch of content that you get for only $10. So is it free? No, it's not 100% free, but it's like, even still, there's so much to do in that game and you don't have to pay a dime. Of course, you're not going to get your end game stuff. You're not going to get your raids. You're not going to get your, there's plenty that you don't get. But what you do get for free, and I make this assessment at the beginning or at the end of the video, which is you get about 20 hours, maybe more, way more. Honestly, I played probably 30 or 40 hours. You get 20, 30, or 40 hours without paying a dime. And the most annoying comment on that particular one, was saying that you couldn't do anything in the game and it was just a demo. And I'm like, but the entire video is listing all the things you can do, how long you can spend on it. And I really tried to lowball most of it because I've spent more than what I've said on that video. Like Gambit, I was like, if you only spend 1 or 2 hours on that, I've spent probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know how many hours I've spent specifically on the Gambit mode because I just particularly like that mode. And yet people will come to me like, you can't do anything. And it's like, but that's not true. It's just not true. Comparable to what you can do if you have the expansions. Yeah, okay, maybe you can't do that much, but you can still do so much. And so that was the most annoying one because it's like, it's just factually not true. It's factually not true that it's just a demo. A demo is like 2 hours long. And then you've experienced everything, or even just 45 minutes long. But this, you could go on for hours and hours. You can level all the way up. You can level each vendor all the way up. So much of it. Anyways, so same thing. I'd get a ton of people who commented in like, hey, this was really helpful. I think I'm going to go download it. That was the best feeling. Because it's like, okay, I've converted somebody. Like now they're going to go try it out for themselves and they're going to realize how much they love it or whatever. And I think even one person went to download it and then they came back, commented again, oh my God, yeah, it's so worth it. And it's like, thank you. Number one, you understood the premise, which was this is not for somebody who's been here since day one. This is for somebody who wants to know if it's worth it. Hence the title. And two, it affected you. And three, you felt the need to actually come back and talk to me. Like that felt so good to know that like I had that effect on you. And at least I was right in that particular, obviously maybe somebody else tried it out and they hated it. But for that particular thing, it just felt so good to know that, okay, what I'm saying matters, like that felt really, really good. Next up was Pokemon Arceus was freaking awesome. Awesome. I look at Arceus and then I look at like Violet and Scarlet. I'm kind of glad I didn't buy Violet and Scarlet because at least from what I've seen, Arceus is just, it fits more to my style and to where I hope the new Pokemon go. I hope there's a separate Arceus 2 and then they can go on to like Gold and Silver and other stuff. But I hope they keep going with the Arceus stuff and keep building on that because it is so good. I love it. So I did a piece on that. We replayed and did a deep dive for Arise, A Simple Story. This is really cool. I'm actually going to have more to talk about that one in just a little bit, but it was a really good playthrough. But yeah, more to come on that one. I reviewed Elden Ring. So Elden Ring is my game of the year. Elden Ring is 100% my game of the year. And here's my thing. The Video Game Awards, like God of War took all the awards pretty much, except for Game of the Year. And Elden Ring got it instead of God of War. And I 1,000% agree with it. Because God of War, good narrative, good voice acting, good, art direction, or maybe I think art direction went to Elden Ring, which also totally agree. But yeah, most stuff went to God of War, and I totally agree with that. However, I do find it hard to get through God of War because a lot of it seems the same. A lot of it's like, oh yeah, this is God of War, and God of War is a 10 out of 10 game. There's no question about that. But Elden Ring was such a surprise because it's like, here's Dark Souls, but in an open world. But even just saying that, Dark Souls, but in an open world, it's like, it's not 100% accurate because there is so much that they do to the open world formula to make it so interesting. It's like open world games before Breath of the Wild versus what an open world game should be now. I say Elden Ring did the same thing. Open world games before Elden Ring and open world games after Elden Ring. And I mean, what I'd say Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring are similar is like the verticality and the world itself. They really paid attention to the world and made the world an interesting thing. And so the number one reason why Elden Ring is my number one of the year, except for God of War, is because like I could play Elden Ring over and over again. Whereas God of War, when I do finally finish it, I probably won't replay it for a very long time, if at all. I might replay it, but it might be like years down the road. Like Last of Us is a really good example. I like replaying that every 2 or 3 years. And it's just because it has such a place in my heart, and so God of War is going to be the same thing where I think I will replay it eventually, but Elden Ring, it's like, okay, this time I'm going to do, just a samurai run or just a spirit or a magic run or something like that. Whereas like God of War, it's like, there's one way to do it and you just optimize that one way of doing it. The next video we did after Elden Ring, this one was really fun. Me and Nate watched Fateful Findings. It's a Neil Breen movie, and I had never seen a Neil Breen movie before. and it was so much fun. It was so ridiculous. It was so like we only got through 30 minutes maybe of the movie because we had to keep pausing and being like, oh my God, what's this? Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God. There were so many times we had to just stop and just laugh our asses off because it's so goddamn ridiculous. So that was definitely like a highlight of my year because it was just so like balls to the wall. Like, oh my God, I cannot believe this actually happened. I think it was right around Elden. What the hell does that sound? Okay, I think someone's vacuuming or something. So if you hear something in the background, I apologize. It was right around Elden Ring and the Fateful Findings that I think that's when we started to notice, wait a second, the views for our World War Z are really climbing. Not only that, but our sub count started really climbing. And like, I was like, oh God, we could make it to 1,000. And it wasn't just like, oh, we might make it to 1,000. No, we are making it to 1,000. Oh my God, this is so much fun. And I remember I started doing some shorts, 666 subscribers. Yeah, I remember getting so hyped. I was like, yes, let's freaking go. Yeah, that was really cool. We started our new series, It's Free, So Why the Hell Not, which wasn't technically a new series, but a new way of doing it. So, and I really like this new format. I haven't done one in a while. I'll get back to that in a little bit, maybe. But yeah, I started doing that series. That was a really fun series to do. And then we finally did it. We got to 1,000. So on, what day is this? On April 15th, 2022, I put up a video called 1K Special. We made it, and it's thanks to you. So it was basically just a compilation of everything from 1 subscriber all the way up to 1,000. All the video, well, not all of them, but like highlights and stuff. It was 41 minutes long, so it's a bit on the long side or whatever, but it really just shows where we started to where we are now. Look at what you came from. Look at you now. Zuckerberg and Gates and Buffett. Amateurs can fucking suck it. What was I saying? So, yeah. Oh my God, it finally happened. 1,000. All right, next up, this is the part I said I was going to get back to, and that is Arise. So we did a deep dive of Arise, and I think just randomly, I always wanted to get back to interviewing people and stuff like that. So I think randomly I just happened to reach out to Piccolo Gaming, and I'm like, hey, we would love to have somebody on to talk about. Oh no, now I remember how it happened. Okay, I need to get the story straight. Sorry about this. So I put out the video, and I think I put it on Twitter, and I always tag the creators or whatever, and I'm just like, whatever. But Piccolo, 2 things. Oh my God, it made my day. I woke up. And this happened, okay? So this is what happened. I wake up, I'm like, I'm like, hey, I got a retweet. I go and I see it's a retweet from Piccolo Studio. And I'm like, wait, what? And so I go, they liked our tweet about the thing. They retweeted it, and they even commented on it. Hey, we watched this. We absolutely love it. You guys got so much right about it. Because we were talking about symbolism and all this stuff. And they're like, you got so much right. And I'm like, oh my God, not only did they like it, but they retweeted it. So that video actually did pretty good. And I do think part of it was because they tweeted it out. Granted, it only did 496 as of now, but still, like, that's good for us. God. There's a part of me that dies inside every time I say that. Oh yeah, 496 views. That's good for us. Now you know why I said that World War Z getting 100,000 views is bittersweet. Or I said something along that line. Anyway, so the whole point I'm saying is that then I reached out to Piccolo and I'm like, hey, we would love to have you on and on our show to talk about it. And so we actually got the game director of Arise on to talk about it. So go back and look for Nick and Nate plus Alexis. And that's the director. He comes on, we talk about it, we talk about the game, we talk about, life, we talk about business. It's a really, really good viewing pleasure. Mm-hmm. So please go look at it. We had a lot of fun making that one. From then on, it was pretty much business as usual. So here's the thing. A lot of the 1,000 people that we got from World War Z, why World War Z is a better Left 4 Dead than Back 4 Blood. And unfortunately, I think that meant that a lot of them were like expecting us to do more video essays. And that kind of sucked because on the one hand, it's like, great, we got to 1,000 subscribers. But then the disappointing side of getting to 1,000 subscribers is, anecdotally, I've always heard that your first 1,000 is the hardest. So I had this expectation that we were going to get to 1,000 and then we were just always going to be going up. Since our 1,000, we've released 25 more videos, and some of them might have a couple of hundred. Some of them just don't. So, there was kind of a disappointing side to getting to 1,000 because I've just always heard once you get your first 1,000, you're good to go. And it wasn't even like we got to 1,000 and then we slowed down our output. It's like, no, we still put out a new video every week, 2 videos every week. As soon as we hit 1,000, it was really about, okay, let's get our stuff together and let's make sure we're coming out with constant stuff that people will like or whatever. And while I never did any more hour-long video essays, I did start my new It's Free, So Why the Hell Not, which was very kind of video essay-ish, maybe that's a better way, essay-ish. But I don't know if enough of the people who liked our original, World War Z video went over to it. So our first one actually did pretty good. It's over 5,000. Hawken which was another free to play one. That one actually got 16,000, but I don't think that that's because of our subscribers, right? We only have 1,000 obviously, but that's just because Hawken was very popular, I think. So I think that's why, because then, Switchblade, which was the next free-to-play one that we did, that one only got 300. So even though I was still trying to do like video essay type stuff, we were unfortunately just not getting as many views and stuff that we were getting before. So it's like there's a positive side to getting 1,000 because it's like the road to 1,000 was so long and arduous, and finally getting there was just such a relief. And I guess my expectations for when I hit 1,000 was just so much different than when it finally happened, because it's just like, oh, okay, we're here. Where is everybody? What happened to everybody? We have 1,000 people. We have 1,000 people. Why aren't they watching our videos? Like, are our videos bad? Are they good? Do they like them? Do they not like them? What do we need to do to make it better? And so, yeah, it was this really bittersweet. Speaking of bittersweet, we did start a Rumbleverse radio podcast, and uh, Rumbleverse radio, I think, was the project that really broke me. There is a really long story that I actually already recorded and edited, but maybe it's right here and maybe it's not. I don't know. I'll decide later. But to put it simply, I mean, in the simplest of terms, I think for 7 years, I've been going as hard as I can, and I've been trying as hard as I can. And Rumbleverse comes out, and I spend literally 12 hours on a video to make sure that it's out on release day, and it just didn't perform that good. And then I put out a TikTok, and the TikTok, a couple of the TikToks perform extremely well. And then I spend a lot of work on a particular TikTok, and it didn't do very well. And it broke me. It broke me because, I mean, if I just told you that I did a video and it didn't do so well, and so I stopped making videos for a while, you would think, God, dude, get over it. That's how things work, right? But the context behind it is that I've been doing this for 7 years, and I got to a point where I had been going so hard and so, like, I've been trying so hard to just do well that it finally just broke me. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. Like, I got to the point basically where I was like, I'm not having fun with this anymore. I'm not enjoying this. I am not happy. I was so stressed out about Rumbleverse and making that a good show and getting that good, that when it came out and just nothing happened. It's like, yeah, sure, we had a couple hundred people who watched a certain episode or whatever, but then, like, how many people sat past the intro was heartbreaking. The intro is only like 60 seconds long, and it's this really cool song. I paid somebody to custom rap the song, and so how many people actually just made it past that was like so ridiculously low that I'm like, it really broke me, and I stopped making videos for months. And yeah. The worst part of 2022 wasn't even Rumbleverse. Rumbleverse broke me, but part of the reason Rumbleverse broke me is that so you might notice that Nate's not around. Why is Nate not doing this look back in 2022? Why isn't he here with me? Well, to put it quite simply, Nate got a job, and I haven't heard from him in a while now. He's been really busy. As far as I know, he's still alive, I guess. Nate, if you're watching, call me. But he got a new job. He kind of got a new life, and I guess I'm just not part of it anymore, And if I sound a little bitter, it's because I miss him. I miss him a lot. He was like my best friend for like 5 years. We worked together. We played together. We talked about just regular shit and all this. And so I lost somebody really, really important to me. I mean, he's, like I said, as far as I know, he's still alive, but he just dropped off the face of the earth. And yeah. So like that, on top of Rumbleverse, and on top of putting out video after video after video after video, and just nothing really happening. Like, I've never expected to go from 1 subscriber to 1 million subscribers. I've never expected that. But this area of stagnation where I have people watching, but they don't really watch that much of it. And just every video just not really moving the meter that much one way or the other. It's soul crushing. It's soul crushing. Think of your most soul crushing job. For me, it was working at a call center. Think of your most soul crushing job. Now, think about how you actually love that job. You actually love doing it. You love putting in the effort. You just love everything about it. Now, picture it just not doing anything for you. Maybe you don't get paid for it. Maybe, it's so hard to describe, but it's like I'm making my own version of art. I'm not going to try to say I'm making the Mona Lisa here. I'm not saying that, but I'm making my version of art. I'm putting myself out there. I put so much of my personality, so much of my dad jokes, so much of me into a video, and to just sort of have people just not watch it. And if they did, they watched like 30 seconds and I'm not good enough for them. I'm not. It's soul crushing. It's so soul crushing. And it took me a while to start doing videos again. I'm doing videos with my wife now. I'm doing a podcast about Disney because I love Disney. And there's definitely this negative cloud around Disney. And so me and her had done a podcast called You, Us in Disney Plus. We did that years ago, and so we decided to kind of revive that, and so now we're starting to do that, and so I'm at least getting back into the swing of things, but it's hard because every time I go to edit something, every time I go to make a video, I constantly find myself thinking, well, is this even worth it? I'm gonna get 5 views off of this. Is that worth it? Is it worth it for me to put myself through that emotional strain for 7 views, for 30 views? Because again, it's been 7 years, and that I get a couple of videos that'll get like a couple hundred, and I'm like, all right, that's awesome. Why can't I get that for the rest of my videos? What am I doing wrong? Like, do I literally have to be up everyone's ass and be like, hey, watch my video. Hey, watch my video. Hey, watch my video. Hey, watch my video. Watch my video. Watch my fucking video. Are you watching it? Did you watching it? Like, what do I have to do? Because like, that's not my personality. I'm not that type of person to be like on Twitter and tweet out 6 times in one day, watch my video. That's ridiculous. Why would I do that? But I guess, do I need to be that in order to start getting more views? I don't fucking know. This went downhill. This went downhill really fast. So 22. I mean, the best way I can put a cap on 2022 is that it was an emotional roller coaster. It started off so high because and it kept getting higher because we kept getting more and more views on our World War Z video, which meant more and more subscribers. But then there was just so many things that kind of made the emotions go up and down. Getting to 1,000 subscribers, up. You know, one of my favorite videos not doing so well, down. Rumbleverse, up. I really liked Rumbleverse. I really liked doing the podcast. Nobody freaking watches it, down. Losing Nate was the hardest because yeah. So heading into 2023, let's get happy now, okay? We've gotten past all the bad stuff. Let's get into the happy stuff. Hopefully the new stuff. Okay, so heading into 2023, there is a new series that I would like to start. It's another kind of video essay type but it's hopefully, I think something that somebody has never done before. So if you're interested in that, please stick around for that, because I think it's really interesting. And of course I would say that, but I'm really excited to get that started. I do hope to continue It's Free, so why the hell not? My main problem, with It's Free, so why the hell not? I have the next episode recorded as far as audio, and then I even have game footage for it, but it's the editing it together and everything that I still feel apprehensive about, and I still just wonder, is it even worth it? So I do hope to continue that, but I'm just not sure. I am going to be podcasting with my wife all throughout 2023. I actually just bought new equipment, new condenser mics, so even it's going to be even better than this. My sweet, sweet voice will sound even more sultry and seductive. It'll sound good. Yeah, so I got 2 condenser mics so that we can start like really podcasting. But yeah, I'm going to be continuing to do You, Us, and Disney Plus with my wife. I am podcasting with Chaos Legion Gaming. So if you want, go to Chaos Legion Gaming on YouTube. I'll leave a link in the description. I'm also going to be doing challenge videos with Chaos Legion Gaming. I have a really cool setup. We're going to do challenges. So, go into Warzone and you're supposed to stay in your vehicle for as long as possible, or so, things like that. So, a lot to look forward to. I also hope to just be doing more stuff in 2023. I want to get back to reviewing. Reviewing was one of the funnest things I like to do, So I'd really like to get back to reviewing, but it's just, again, right now I'm having a mental hurdle to get over. Because even though I would do reviews and I would do certain kind of video essay type videos, and I would do them, I would record them, I would edit them, and I would put them out, it was still under this umbrella where it was TX3 Productions was Nick and Nate. And so I'm moving on with TX3 Productions as Nick. And that's hard because just having somebody there in the trenches with you makes a huge difference. So there's a huge part of me that my passion is still there to make stuff, but my passion to release it and have people critique it and have people thumbs down it and all that part of me has unfortunately been irreparably broken. So, that's all I can do right now. That's all I can do for 2023. Cross my fingers. Let's cross these ones too. Cross my fingers and hope that it goes way better than 2022, because as awesome as some of the things were, there was enough bad to make me want to quit altogether, and I almost did. I almost quit altogether. So I thought I was ending on a happy note. The happy note is 2023 is going to be hopefully better. That's going to be my happy note. That I'm unfortunately that's the only thing I can do right now. I do have plans. I do have equipment on the way. I have a new capture card on the way. So even things like that, I have hopes and I have aspirations for 2023. The last thing I'll put out there is that I've been creating a tabletop game, and 2023 is the year that I want to have it ready for a Kickstarter. So that's all I can really say. I mean, 5 people are probably watching, and 2 of them have made it all the way to here. So for those 2 people, there you go. That's what I have. That's what I have going on. And, let's Give me a thumbs up, please. Please, for God's sake, give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment in the comments. Let me know that I'm doing a good job, that I am worth it, and yeah. To 2023. I'm laughing because I don't want to cry.